Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you all to today's New Bangladesh. Here, as usual, we shall discuss new politics, new citizens, new culture, new education, new thoughts overall about New Bangladesh. Dear audience, today, as our guest here present, Dr. Kamrul Hasan. He is a professor, head of the department, Accounting and Finance, American International University, Bangladesh. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam. Salam. Thank you, Professor Dr. Ramit Azad, for your information. So, the New Bangladesh, the program, I would like to thanks all of you, including the other people arranging this program, that the students, July movement, they actually build up this new nation, new Bangladesh. So, education is one of the very, very important aspect for us. So, how we build up a new nation, new era for them, new opportunities for them, so that our education, which is a very important aspect.
Thank you, sir. So there must be a new era, and there must be many things new in our education system.
Yes.
Yes. Sir, as I know that you are a renowned educationist in Bangladesh and very well experienced, how long have you been teaching, sir?
Actually, I have been starting in 1995 in Russian University as a lecturer, and since then, last 30 years, I have been in public university, private university, foreign universities, and I got my second MBA from Manchester Metropolitan University Business School, UK, my PhD. I got more than 20 publications in different international and national journals. And also we have participated in a lot of seminars, international conferences in the. So you can say that yes, I have a little bit experience in education. Also, I have another thing is my family background is also in education. My father, he was in the teaching, university teaching. My granddad and my grandnan, they also in the education. So that's why it's a family education I have.
Very good. So you're from a teacher family, I think, and
yes,
professor
yes,
family. Your father was
family.
a
You can say
renowned
that.
professor, as I know. Where did he work, sir? Where did he teach, your father, sir?
Before AIB, joining AIB, first of all, I joined in Russian University in 1995. So after that, I actually teach different private universities as well. Southern University, Bangladesh in Chirong. I've been as an adjunct faculty in Chirong Independent University. I've been adjunct faculty in EUITS and adjunct faculty also in National University curriculum as well. And in 2018, I joined in American International University, Bangladesh. And in course of time now, I've been working as the head Department of Accounting and also the finance, my major, one of the major. So overall, private and public, all the education system in Bangladesh, university education system, are actually involved in education, private and public universities.
Thank you, sir. You studied both in home and abroad.
Home and abroad.
Home and abroad. So you can compare the education system in Bangladesh and in abroad. So in connection with this, sir, I'd like to ask you that we know that Bangladesh has a very rich cultural heritage.
Yes.
And our ancient education system was also very rich. However, there was an interruption during the colonial period. However, I think that since we have a rich cultural heritage, there must be some strengths of our education system. So what do you think, sir? What are those strengths of our education system?
In fact, after 1971, when we become independent, and if you think about the statistics, we have only Russian University, Dhaka University, and Chile University, six universities. All of them are public on that time. No other, private universities or other this. But since last 55 years time, now more than 200 altogether, 200 universities running, and the technical university. So our heritage for education, the people in Bangladesh, they always in favor of the parents. They always in favor of the education. They always try to, even in the rural village. If you go over there, if you see the rickshaw puller, even he also try to give her daughter good education, medical, BUET and other public, education. So it is, of course, we have a heritage of education. We always in favor of the good education, quality education.
Yes, I also marked that in rural areas, earlier there was a system called Jagirs.
Yeah.
Those poor students who could not afford
Jagir, yes.
afford studies, that some people they used to finance them, even they lived in their houses.
Exactly.
Houses. So it was always inspired.
Always.
Well, education it was always inspired in our country.
Always.
However, sir, that in rural areas, since I visited rural areas, I saw. But I marked that they face some difficulties in rural areas in this respect, in respect of education. What are those difficulties and how can we overcome this?
First of all, their financial side, that was very difficult side to maintain the financial educational cost. But now, the new Bangladesh, how we actually cope with those problems. New Bangladesh, I actually see the best opportunities. I am always positive person, always. So last 55 years since my starting my, so I always positive. I want to see how positively we actually go ahead. So the rural areas, the problems they face, the financial problem, but for that actually we can develop some to overcome that financial weakness. We can develop some ways, like we can give them the loan, student loan. Nowadays up to 9 or for girls 12 class the education is free. So if we actually subsidize the education system and the rural people, if we come the talented from the rural people, because the talent always there. You talk about the Jagir. My father, he was the professor. He died actually. He was the professor of Children University, Department of Finance, Professor Dr. Enam Abdul Muqtadir. And he always tell me that he was in Jagir. He was from the very rural area. So we need to bring those talent from the rural areas. So we need to give them the opportunities, financial opportunities. Other than financial, we need to provide them the support services, like free book, like the tuition fee waiver, like nowadays what in the rural people up to 12 HSC level, women they are free. So in the university level, if you come to them, when they come to the university, then the main challenges actually they face, I think.
Well, in this regards, what I marked that many of the rural students, they don't want to continue their studies after SSC and mainly after HSC. So what are the causes? Why don't they want to continue? Another thing is, since the rural areas are mainly agricultural areas, should we give more emphasis in agricultural education in our national curriculum system?
Yes, of course. Our backbone, if you think about the basic, our actually economy's backbone depends on the education. So we have a number of universities in agricultural universities, and as well as we have a number of polytechnical institutes as well, if you think about. So because the education should fulfill the economy's need. So our economy based on agriculture, so we need to develop the new ideas, new technologies, so that we can develop our agriculture in another height. If you think about the Thailand, if you think about the Malaysia, if you think about the Japan, agricultural development, Korea as well, their agriculturally they use the technology, high-tech they use in the agriculture. So in the rural areas, because our education should fulfill the demand of our main agriculture, so we need to focus on agricultural based, technology based education. And on that case, the rural people, they will be more involved. We can involve them more, because from the very beginning they will come to know the basics of agriculture. So if you give them the proper training and if you give them the other facilities, technology, so why not we will be in Japan?
Okay, very nice, sir. The next question is about the gender equality. When I was a child, my elder sisters, they studied in Dhaka University. but there are very few number of female studied in universities. Now, when I am teaching in the universities, both private and public universities, I see that more than 50% sometimes are female students. So now they are interested in education. Their parents are interested. They are also interested. So in case of gender equality, what can be done to improve? I think it is already improved, but to improve it more or to give a better environment.
Exactly, sir. Thank you very much for this very important aspect, gender equality, or if you talk about the rural areas, the girls especially, boys and girls. So always there is a discrimination. But nowadays things being changed, and we should work more aggressively and more plan-wise, policy we should develop so that the girls in the rural areas or in the total population, more than half people, they are women. So we need to bring them in the mainstream. So if you give a good educated mother, you can have an educated nation. So there is the philosophical talk. So we should develop the policy, and now how we can do that? Now we should develop, okay, how can we do that? Okay. So one of the mainstream, if we gender equality, if we so the girls before that they actually lost their education due to the marriage, early marriage, one of the big problem. So nowadays, I think the rural people also they think about yes, the marriage is good, but if the girls they will be educated, they will be asset in future. So nowadays in rural areas also. And also we need to give them consciousness, social awareness. Yes, the boys and girls, they should have the equal rights because both of them, they are the human being. So as a human being, we should actually make them more conscious, the parents, yes. The girls also be more intelligent, more productive if we educate those girls. So we can bring them in our mainstream if we actually educate them. So that is the social awareness we should actually develop.
Well, in connection with this, obviously marriage is good. It is legal, legal and ethical. What happens in our, let's start from the public university. Now, public universities, yes, 10 years back, 20 years back, the percentage of female students were less. But now they are 50%, sometimes when more than 50% female students are there, but they are not getting any residence. I think the halls or rooms to live there for their study purposes, because you know the ratio of the halls or residence of the male students and female students, there is a very big gap. Okay. Exactly. Now they are demanding, the female students are demanding to give them residence inside the university campus or somewhere nearby. And there is another demand also, proposal also, that is that to ensure residence for the married students. It will be easier for them to live near the academic blocks of the universities and to study. So what is your opinion about this?
Actually, I've been long time in UK. So if you think about from since 2002 to 2010, I got PR in UK, but I didn't. I leave UK and I just return in Bangladesh, and I actually engage again in university education. So my main thinking is that what experience I gained from UK, the male or female gender discrimination, there is no scope of gender discrimination over there. In Bangladesh, last over since I back in 2010, I have seen gradually, if I'm working, because I'm working in the AIB, our almost half of our faculty members, they are female faculty, and they are highly quality teacher. And so now where they comes from? Your question is they have limited housing and other problems. Problems will be there. Problems everywhere. In the first world country, they also face the problem. So we need to develop a nation where they create the problems into strengths. So we might not have enough housing, we might not have enough halls, but still the female students, they must continue their education. Okay, so maybe they, but policy guidelines should be, we should make more, housing or other things. The public university, they can. So, but side by side, if you always think about the government, but also the private entrepreneurs, they also come to look forward. So far I know, because my residence in Chirong University, my permanent residence, and our residence for 2 5-story building, and both building actually we rented to the female students only for the university, not other female students, only for the Chirong University. So the private entrepreneurship also coming over there to tackle this problem. But the students always, they have a positive mindset. Yes, problems will be there, problems in Bangladesh, problems in all over the world, but we will face that and we will make the problems turn into prospects.
Thank you, sir. As regard privatization, there are privatization in banks, there are privatization in the corporations, in business organizations. As regards privatization in the education sector, there are some reservations of our people. But however, there are private schools, there are private colleges, and to some extent, the private schools and private colleges are doing better. In this connection, probably in 1991, the government took decision to establish private universities. At the very beginning, there were criticisms, obviously, but now what do you think that are these private universities serving a lot to our nations?
Of course. Thank you, sir. I would like to my deepest gratitude and thanks to Shahid President Ziaur Rahman and our Deshnetri Begum Khaleda Jia, because on that time in 1990s, after the Ershad regime fall, and then the new Bangladesh when it started under the head of Begum Khaleda Jia, Deshnetri, and on that time a total development started, but unfortunately actually couldn't continue. Due to the other problems, due to the Bakshali and Shoirachari and fascist people is there. So when Khaleda Jia government, first of all they started the private university regulations, and on that time North Southern universities they started first of all, and then the other, if you think about the AIB also started in 1994, 93, 94. So on that regime up to 1995, the government, the Khaleda Jia government, they started a lot of new private universities, a lot of other new things. So I believe that there was a very practical steps. Now the private university, you say they're contributing more. Now, so after long, if you talk about the 90s, now it is 2025, so 35 years after. So now the private universities, they contribute more or almost, because the number of private universities are more, quality education they also provide. And also I've been working in private as well as now public as well as now private universities. So I've seen how actually we try to provide better education. So this is the result of after 1990s, the Khaleda Jia government they introduced. Now, if you talk about the quality, that is the main thing. So private universities, they produce a number of quality educated bachelors and also masters. Now the graduates, they are, if you go to the market, in job market in Bangladesh, in all over the world, the private university graduates, they are actually working with their reputation. In Bangladesh, any bank, any government, and any organizations, the private universities, graduated, they provide the good quality, as well as the foreign. If you go after the graduation, they go to the foreign different universities, and they graduated, they contribute to the world economy. Now the economy not only in Bangladesh, it is a world village now, global village. So in the global education, the private universities, which started after 90s, now they actually contribute very positive things, I think.
Well, sir, as you mentioned that it was first established in 91, I think. Then other universities in 1992, 93, 94, like this.
95.
So 95. So more than 30 years, these private universities are working in Bangladesh. But as regards the policies of the private universities, they are old enough that they were all adopted 30 years ago.
Yes.
Don't you think that these policies should be renewed or should be
of course,
developed, I think.
Of course. One of the policy I just tell you, so that in case of research and development, without research and development, no universities, no nation they can develop. You research, you go ahead, you develop your country, you develop your education system, you develop new ideas, you innovate new technologies like Tesla, okay? So one of the innovative idea they have developed the electric car, okay? So this innovation, actually all the fossil fuel cars, which actually diesel or octane driven cars, within the next 5 or 10 years, they will be replaced all over the world. So that's why the research and development is important. And in case of private universities, if you think about in Bangladesh, a limited scope of research and development is here because the government policy last 16 to 17 years, the that fascist government and the Bakshali government, they actually ruined the education system in Bangladesh plannedly, with a plan. So that why they did it? Because only the main thing is the India. They always did what India wants. India never ever they want the education system will be a best education system in Bangladesh. Like if you talk about now Thailand, very near in our country, Thailand.
Very close to us, yes.
Close to us. Malaysia, close to us. Singapore, close to us. Their education system, you see, they started after us. We started in 1990s, the private, but they started after us. But long period, more than 16 years, the fascist government and behind this, the India, they actually ruined all the systems in our education, in the primary, secondary level, as well as in the tertiary level in the university system, because they don't want to develop here. Because if we develop in education, then there is a big problem for them. They will not keep continuing because they think that they will keep continuing until 2042 without, all those democratic, fascist. So again, the student revolution in July, they have actually bring the new Bangladesh. So we salute them. We actually give them the honor, the martyrs, more than 3,000 people, students and other died martyrs. So the new Bangladesh, when it comes over to us, so we need to develop it.
Thank you, sir. Now, as regards the advantages or facilities of the teachers, professors, and the employees of private universities, do you think that it is adequate, that they are getting enough, or that must be also developed or changed?
Especially in the university education, the education should be based on new technologies, research and development. That should be the more focus. That traditionally, if we think about the accounting system, finance system, now being changed. You don't need to go to the bank now. You just at home you can pay, you can deposit, you can open the account and everything. This is the financial education. This is called the financial education. So if we think about after 20 years back, you need to write a check, you need to bring it to the bank. They will do. Now you don't need it. You go to the ATM anytime. You can have your money. You can have the mobile banking. You can have the online banking. You can all the education. So this financial education, you need to bring those new ideas in the education, new technology in the education. So what is said, it is relevant. Yes, we should actually focus on new technology-based education, which is the demand of our global. Now we should not think about only Bangladesh. We should think about the global village. Think about Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus, our chief advisor, what he said. He said, why not all the private universities, they just open a nursing department? We have the pharmacy department, we have all our department. Why not we just open a nursing department? And we can bring out a quality nurse each and every university, and then whole world is waiting for us. And the student and the people in Bangladesh, they are our resource. They are not our weakness, they are our strength. We need to convert those resources into the strength of Bangladesh. Develop this policy.
So we should design our education system as such that they will meet the need of not only the job market of Bangladesh, but also the job market of abroad,
Global.
We should produce graduates for global village.
Global village. Exactly.
Okay, and later they will also contribute in our economy and finance like this.
Exactly. Some people, they thought that if we brain drain, this concept is the wrong concept nowadays. Nowadays this is not, because ours is the globally if you need to think about. So you will work in USA, sitting around in Bangladesh, you can work for USA companies. So if you think about the nowadays the job market, how they actually base technology, they work 3 days or 4 days from home, work from home, and 1 day they go to the office due to the technology. After COVID, the system been changed in the whole world. Okay, so if we stay in Bangladesh, you can work for USA global village. You can work, and a lot of people working actually. Now, the people, the graduate, we should develop so that they can fit not only for Bangladesh, for the global. Why? Because the demand for, if we think about that, they will work only for Bangladesh. They have the quality education, the demand in all of the world, UK, Canada, USA, Germany, Japan, all over the world, the educated graduates is there. They need them. That's why Dr. Yunus, Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus, the chief advisor, he said, yes, it is our strength. Just we need to develop our policy. So the department, the caretaker, this is only a very small training. If we give them 6 to 7 months training, they can work all over the world as a caretaker and earning good amount of money. Nursing all over the world, the shortage of nursing. There is a shortage of technological, software engineer and other people all over the world, because Japan, high tech country, they need those people. So that's why we need to think about, like traditionally we need to think about modernly, which based on the demand of the global village. We need to develop our course curriculum. Yes, our curriculum is, we need to change it based on these actually. That's true, you are right.
Thank you, sir. Recently, our Honorable Advisor of Education, he told that there are some complaints about the management bodies of different private universities. The members of those bodies, many of them are not well educated, that there must be a certain level of education they must have. What is your opinion about this?
Exactly. There is no alternative of education. There is no alternative of knowledge. So it is the knowledge-based economy now. If you have knowledge, you have the power. You have the power if you have the knowledge. You think about nowadays people, they are not going to, especially the shop for market. They go to the online, they select and everything. So technology. So you need to have developed those technology-based education, knowledge-based education. So in managing board, especially in the school, colleges, and also in the universities, I should talk about the universities. Yes, the entrepreneurs, actually they take the risk. So that's why, but in the managing board, they actually, the educated, knowledgeable people, they should hire. And so far I know, Bangladesh education system now, they actually will think about future, how another after 20 years we will actually do. We will fulfill the challenges of the world, global world. So for that reason nowadays, the people working in the managing board, actually yes, it is true. The advisor, what he said, yes, it's true. The people, if he is not knowledgeable, not educated, how he contribute? So that's why it is. But I should add another thing, which is the knowledge. Nowadays the economy is technological. The economy is based on technology. So our knowledge and technology, we need to integrate both of them. Okay. So if you think about now, you have the whole one in our pocket. Each and everybody we are working. So you just go to the Google, ChatGPT, AI based, everything is there. So we need to utilize those opportunities as well. And that's why the educated people should be in different managing boards, in universities as well, definitely, and no doubt about it, sir.
Thank you, sir. You taught in public universities as well as in private
Yes.
universities. Same about me. I am also teaching in public universities and in private universities. So as regards the comparison, sir, can you compare as a teacher, as a professor, the differences anyway, merits and demerits of public universities and private universities?
As I said to you, I am a positive person. Always I actually look forward. I never look back. So our education system, as I said, the fascist government, the Bakshali government, they actually ruined our education system from the lower, I mean the primary, secondary and also tertiary level. All the levels they actually ruined. So we need to build up. We need to build up because the students, they are our strengths. You see the July movement, they actually, they are, more than 2,000 students, more than 3,000, they actually
sacrificed their lives.
Sacrificed their lives.
Yeah.
So our new nation, new Bangladesh, we need to now develop. So private and public universities, I personally believe that the public universities, they started a long time. If you think about the Harvard University, Harvard Business School in USA, is a private
university. Yes.
If you think about the Cambridge, if you think about the a number of MIT,
Yes.
a lot of private universities in the world, they are in private. So our focus should be in the quality. Our focus should be in the technology based. Our focus should be in the demand based education. Okay, so that whether or not we can fulfill our job market, whether or not we can fulfill our global economy's demand, we need to develop our curriculum based on that. Now, public universities, they have a number of opportunities because they're financed by government. Private universities, they have some limitations actually because finance is one of the major instruments. Finance. Without finance, you cannot develop the different, say for example, the pharmacy department. So you need to have the labs, you need to have the modern facilities. So you need the finance. So public universities, they can develop those. In case of private universities, not all the private universities, they can actually afford those technologies, labs and other things. So gradually we need to actually develop those. But still, a lot of differences in public and private universities. So private universities and private the teachers, university teachers, they actually think about the quality education in the terms of the graduate should be employed in the market in Bangladesh or in global. Or our another motive is we want to develop them to be an entrepreneur. Because a number of students in the private universities, their parents also the entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So always encourage them, okay, your father entrepreneur, why shouldn't you be the entrepreneur? You should have that ability and you should have take the opportunities to have your own father's business. You can develop it in future. So in public universities, the meritorious students actually always come to the public universities. Still, more than 80% students in the public universities, they're highly meritorious, talented students, and they are actually financially they are not that much of sound. So private universities, financially they are very sound, their parents are sound, otherwise they couldn't actually manage that. Public universities, financially they are not that much of sound, but they are highly talented. So we need to develop, we need to make a actually bridge so that private universities as well as public universities, both university students, we need to have our graduates, quality graduate, and we need to make them so that they can develop in the globally and inside in Bangladesh they can develop, they can contribute positively. They will be a good citizen. What we said, we need the good citizen. We need the people for new Bangladesh. We need to develop them so that they will be in our future. They will develop in our future. So we need to bring them, we need to educate them, we need to train them in both public and both private as well. Both of them. We don't need to make them any differences actually. All of them are students.
Well, sir, among the private universities, I taught in many private universities like Brick University, ULab University, East West University. What I marked that there are some layers. In some universities, the tuition fee is very high.
Very high.
In some universities, moderate. In some universities, it is low. So the students are coming and getting their education there. So is there any opportunity for those universities, those are taking high tuition fees, to make it lower?
Actually, sir, if you want the quality, so you need to pay more. So high quality, there is a positive relationship with high cost. iPhone, high quality, you have to pay more. Symphony, if you think about the second brand, another brand, Symphony or Walton Mobile, so you don't need to pay that. So there is a positive relationship with that. But in private universities, it is of course in MIT, or if it is of course in Cambridge, it is of course in the other renowned private university in the world as well. High cost, high quality, there is a positive relationship. Now, we need to bring some policy framework so that the talented people, they can, but they are not financially sound, but they can join over there. So there is the opportunities of those who are actually highly talented and qualified. They have the scholarships. So I can tell you, my son, he got a scholarship from the University of South London, South Bank University, London. So scholarship is there. So for that scholarship, you need to have a good result, academic result as well. So it is in the private universities as well, in the public universities as well. 100%, 50% scholarship, and those who are actually talented. So that's why I said to you, the students always, they should have more engaged in education rather than Facebook or rather than the other things. They should have more focus on the education. So they can have proper education, they can avail the scholarships. So all the universities in Bangladesh, private universities, they also provide the scholarships. Public universities also provide. I got the scholarships. My education fully, it was on a scholarship in the public universities. So I believe that the scholarship system should be more. Nowadays, the system, it should be more, focus on the scholarship based on the merit.
Yes, sir. I also studied in 3 world famous universities in Europe, and all through I received a scholarship. That's why I didn't have to pay any tuition fee.
Right.
They gave me the chance, and I got education,
People's University, I know you are.
Yes, I got PhD, postdoctoral, many degrees I received from those universities by virtue of that scholarship.
Yes, actually.
So you think that there must be some changes in policies of the private universities in this regard?
In this regard, because the talent people, we should actually honor the talent. We should culture the talent. We should motivate our talented, our new Bangladesh. What the Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus, if you think about highly educated world knows, actually renowned Professor Yunus in a name.
Yeah.
They knows, maybe a few people knows about Bangladesh, but all over the world, every people, they knows about the Dr. Muhammad Yunus. Only exception is the fascist people. Bakshali people.
They don't want to recognize.
They
also
know.
don't want to recognize.
Because
yes,
the other regime, the Hasina, was uneducated.
Yes.
She was uneducated. And that's why the Bangladesh, she was dependent on the India, and she was actually ruined all over the education system, all primary, secondary, higher education system. But when the things been changed now under the head of the chief advisor, Dr. Muhammad Yunus, Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus, I personally believe that is our opportunity now to reveal our nation, to think about new way, to honor, to culture those talented people by giving more scholarship, more new policies. That is how we can actually build our new Bangladesh.
Well, sir, as you mentioned about Harvard University, Cambridge University, all those are private universities. As I know that the alumni of those universities are contributing a lot for the development of their respective universities. But in Bangladesh, the private universities are still not focusing on that. Don't you think that the alumni must be more focused for the development of their respective universities?
Exactly, sir, exactly. What actually I experienced from UK, because I am the alumni of Manchester Metropolitan University Business School, still we have the very close relationship with the university. Each and every week, every month, they have the program, they just email me. All the different. I'm also the alumni of Chiro University because my MBA from Chiro University. So Chiro University Alumni Association. Also, I'm the active member of Association of MBAs in Europe and in UK. BG also I am the member, active member. So what I believe that the alumni association, the alumni, they are actually the ambassador of any university. As I am the ambassador of Bangladesh, when I was in UK, I was the ambassador. I work as the ambassador of Bangladesh. So the alumni, they are the ambassador of any university. So now you said what rules they should play. Now a number of private and public universities, they have the stakeholders. They actually nowadays, we actually from AIB, American International University, we actually recognize our alumni. And we have a separate alumni now. And each and every semester, we bring our alumni in our program, in a seminar, workshop, so that our graduates, they can encourage, they can motivate it from our alumni. And in future, we have also the plan so that the alumni, they will contribute, maybe, what you said, and financially, maybe they can contribute more their knowledge and other things in the universities, respective universities. In Bangladesh, so far I know, some of the alumni, they already contributed. In Chile University, I can tell you, so Abul Khair Group of Industries, so they actually built one very nice auditorium. They are the alumni of Chile University, my friend.
Yeah.
So they contribute positively as well. So this is how the alumni, they are the strength, they are the ambassador of any university. So they can contribute positively in terms of financial, in terms of non-financial as well, by motivating the students. And when the alumni, they work very good, the also university, there is the reputation of that university. So I think that's a very good question. So I think in Bangladesh, the private universities, they should work closely with the alumni, more closely with the alumni.
Thank you, sir. As regards the previous dictator government, at the very beginning, probably in 2010, they promised a different salary structure for the teachers to encourage this profession, teaching profession.
True.
Later, that concept was buried. Do you think that the present interim government or the future government should again take the initiative to make a different salary structure for the teachers?
Actually, this is the demand of the time, because you see the secretary, who actually build up the secretary, the teacher. The university graduates, they will be the secretary, or they will be the other government different works. So if you actually nursing your education total, that primary level. I'm not talking about only in the university level. We should come from the primary level, primary education. We should focus on the primary, because that is the basic. And then secondary level, and primary and secondary level is these two are strong. The graduate who are coming into the actually tertiary level, they will be more strong enough. So that's why we should come to primary education. We should think about the salary structure, which is the financial structure of the primary education teachers. Strong financial education, a strong financial system for them. First of all, I think we should work for that. Then the secondary and university level, yes, of course, the structure, there is a actually, the teacher's salary, the professor, say think about the university professor. So in the government, they actually based on those amlas. They actually have no democratic things, and you see the night election or all the election run by those amlas before. And that's why they actually give them all those opportunities, and they deprive the teachers, they deprive in the education system. Because they don't want the education system, they want to ruin the education system. So that the nation we build up, there is a weak nation. The weak nation, you can run that weak nation for long. The education, better education, the strong nation, everything will be okay. You cannot actually run them. And also the Sheikh Hasina, I must, is a shame for her, because a very low educational quality she got, and she run the total system for more than 16 or more than 17 years. And then nowadays the people see that Professor Dr. Mohammed, he is the Gulf difference. Gulf difference. The whole world knows him. He's the only one in Bangladesh who is not only the professor, but also the Nobel laureate. And not only he is the entrepreneur, he is the educationist.
Yes.
So I believe that under the Professor Dr. Mohammed Yunus, he will think about this. The professor, they should not be deprived. Of course, the government people, the government, we are not talking about they will be deprived. But why in terms of professors, the teachers, primary level, secondary level, tertiary level, they will deprived. We will focus on our education, because the last fascist government did not do that. So now we should change it. We should focus on the teachers, we should focus on the professors, we should focus on the educationalists, so that they can build up a nation, a strong nation. So that nobody in future, they will think about, yes, we will be the fascist again. So that's why we should, the remuneration system or financial system, which is actually, we should have given more preferences. Because otherwise, how a professor they will run? They need the financial strength as well.
So the university is basically the highest seat of learning. The goal of any university, mainly two goals. One is imparting knowledge to the students. Another one is in knowledge creation, what we call research. So what do you think, sir? In private universities, do you have enough research environment?
Okay, sir. Nowadays, what I can tell you, American International University, one of the renowned private universities in Bangladesh, since 1995 we've been working. And our permanent campus in Kuril, side of Bosundhara. And what we are actually nowadays, we are thinking about, our first priority is the research and development, first priority. And for that, our university, our board of trustees, they actually develop a lot of new financial help for the teachers. If we publish any articles or publications in the Scopus Index journal, the university will pay the cost. We have developed a number of research projects, the university will finance it. And we have a number of projects financed by the World Bank as well. So a number of, after this interim government coming, the World Bank, because our chief advisor, Professor Dr. Mohammed Yunus coming here, the World Bank, they actually launched HEAT project, which is, millions of dollars they invest in Bangladesh for quality education, for sustainability, for towards the sustainable development goal. So the research, in case of research. So nowadays we are actually working for the HEAT project. So we are not lag behind now from the public universities. Now our first priority in the private universities is in the research as well. Now, where we need to work?
Don't you think that you are getting extra loads that is hampering your research activities?
That is a question actually. That is public or private universities. Some differences should be there always. I think we should actually develop some strategies like research professor.
Yes.
The research professor, what they will do, they will work with the PhD students and MPhil students. As I said to you, the fascist government, they didn't actually develop our education system. Last 17 years, actually, there is no PhD or MPhil students from the private universities. That is not allowed, which is surprising, which is really surprising. If you go to any, because I've been in Manchester University, and MPhil and PhD, there is the main strength of the university.
Yes.
But here, last 17 years, the fascist government, they actually didn't think about here. They didn't work over here. We should work over here. And still, the private universities, they don't have the permission to do the MPhil or PhD research. So, I think the new government, new Bangladesh, we should work on it. We should have the policy framework so that the private universities, they actually have the permission to work on the MPhil and PhD research works. Now, come to the extra load. So we have two positions. One is the academic professors, one is the research professors. The academic professors, actually, they will have the work with the students, the graduate. Basically, the class, time to time, they will have to do the classes. The research professors, they will work on the projects, they will work on the research publications, they will work on the seminars, international workshops and seminars.
Even in faculty development.
Faculty development.
Yes.
So we should divide our teachers, our academic, into two sides. One is the research professors, one is the academic professors.
Well, sir, I myself is now a research professor in National Defense College, sir.
Right.
Yes, they are very much serious about this, about research and development, working on it. The private universities, I do not know whether they asked for it to the government or not, for the appointment of research professors or something like this.
Private universities, because I've been working since 2010 in private universities. Before that, I've been working in the public universities. Public universities, each and every public university, they have the permission to have the PhD, MPhil, or whatever it is, the different research works. They have that permission. So under a professor, 5 research students work. More than the professor, who actually full professor, they can work 7 or 10 research students. But in the private universities, the fascist government, actually, they ruined all the things. So still, we haven't got that permission. Now, there is no still there is no professors like that, actually, whether he will work only for academic side, or but nowadays we work for both. We work for academic as well as we work for the research. So if I think the new government under the head of our Professor Dr. Mohammad Yunus, who is the renowned scholar and also entrepreneur, also Nobel laureate, and I think he is the best ever Bangladeshi in 1,000 years.
Yeah.
In 1,000 years, more than 1,000 years.
Obviously.
And under his guidance, we will see that our education advisor, our under the chief advisor, they will actually introduce this. I hope that they will introduce this MPhil and PhD, because we well equipped now. The private universities, the professors nowadays, we have quality teachers working in the private universities nowadays. If we talk about the American International University, yes, a number of good, high qualified professors we are working over there, and we have foreign degrees as well. We have research capabilities as well. So now only why we are waiting? We are waiting for the government permission.
Good. Well, now we have basically demographically dividend population in Bangladesh.
Yes.
Probably considering this, the previous government, along with the foreign enemies, they made a design not to use this demographically dividend population, and for long 15 to 16 years, the whole nation was sleeping. Now still there is a chance to utilize this demographically dividend population. So as a professor, as an educationist, as a professor of finance, what is your opinion? How can we utilize this demographically dividend population?
Thank you, sir. The term, I actually like it, the dividend.
Yeah.
Actually, in company, they actually pay the dividend to the shareholders. Now, what is dividend population? So in course of population is the strength, not the burden. Population is the key success for any country. Major concerned if we haven't got the population, like young population. So that's why the dividend population is said.
Youth population.
Because youth, that's the strength. You see our July revolution, the young people, they have showed how to change a regime, a fascist regime. Unbelievable. Within 2-3 weeks' time, they showed yes.
Yeah.
And you see the brutally how they've been killed. And then, the
Even
fascist,
they couldn't stop them.
Yes, the
the
fascist
mass
gov-
killing couldn't stop our youth.
Yes, they couldn't
Yeah.
stop them. They actually, and we have seen all over the world, they said, we killed them only one people killed, and all the people never ran away.
Yeah.
So how courageous our student, how strong they are. So with this dividend population, youth people and young population, that is our strength. And we need to develop those actually. That is our strength. And if we think about strategically, Japan, first of all, they have suffering from these dividend people, youth people. And that's why they are urging Bangladesh that they need a number of highly graduates who actually develop in the technology or other things. We can send a number of, a lot of population over there, highly educated people, because we have that. We have that dividend, young people. And also, Canada, they are actually lack of young people. USA, even USA. In Japan, they have a negative growth of population now. So I personally believe that we actually, in course of time, this dividend population or young people population, which is our strength, we need to now nurture them. We need to give them technology-based education, and they will run the world in future. Believe me.
Thank you, sir. Now, as regards finance, I know that you are a professor of accounting and finance, and you served in banks, probably in 2-3 banks in Bangladesh.
Yes,
So you have
yes.
experience, in this respect as well. So I would like to ask you a question about the development of the banking sector of Bangladesh. How can we develop it now in 2025?
Actually, the fascist government, the one of the Hasina's in regime, the Islam group, I actually can say everybody knows about, he actually ruined all the banking system in Bangladesh, millions of takas, billions of takas. Actually, not only in the banking sector, even they actually ruined the Bangladesh bank. So how nakedly they actually ruin the money from this Bangladesh. If you go to Singapore now, you see the Islam group, they have used millions and billions of investment in Singapore. Where? From Bangladesh. If you go to the 10 to 12 banks nowadays, they have no capital to run the bank. The current Professor Dr. Mohammed Yunus, he actually urged our finance, actually our Bangladesh government, that yes, anyhow we need to develop. Still it takes time, because millions of billions of taka, not only from actual channel, but in different names actually they actually pass the money from Bangladesh.
So Honorable Chief Advisor told already that $17 billion per year were shifted away from Bangladesh.
Think about this.
Yes.
So because I actually, my expertise in banking sector as well, finance and banking sector, so I'm really shocked about this, that the way the banking system in Bangladesh, if you think about the 1990s, the Khaleda Zia government on there, and Saifur Rahman, he was the best finance minister in Bangladesh, and all the private base, private sector, he actually developed the private sector. And 2001, when again we actually come in Bangladesh, again the Khaleda Zia government came, the finance minister was Saifur Rahman. And he built up in finance, very strong financial side on Bangladesh. We have billions of reserves on that time, billions of reserves. We never think about the reserve, that the fascist reserve fascist government, they steal the reserve as well from this country. Bangladesh Bank, reserve, gone.
Looted the banks and reserve.
Not only banks, they also central bank reserve as well.
Yes.
And they intentionally did that, so that this country, when they flew down from this country will not work again. Okay, so that is the main plan, was they actually destroy our financial side. But still, I personally believe that it takes time, but still, as a positive person, new Bangladesh, we should build it. Always, if you think the past, always the government, the fascist government, they always ruin the economy. But after that, when everything is gone, when the people, the actual people coming into the power, they actually build the nation. So now with the people, the student, the chief advisor said, yes, we build the country again. So now we are building. So what happened to the banking sector, if you think about the confidence of the depositors? The main problem is when you go to the bank, you deposit money, you cannot take money from the bank, then the confidence level will be the problem. So if we actually ruin the confidence level, how actually I keep money to the bank? So that's why we need to develop the confidence level now. Yes, the new Bangladesh, new government led by Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus coming here, so we should strongly run the economy again. Now now you see the reserve system coming again in a very good position now. The people, they have their confidence now. So I believe that in course of time, it will be okay. And also there is a very important thing. The people, those involved in those, taking the money from this country illegally, we should bring them in financial regulation. We should bring the money which actually deposited in different countries, and we should try to back that money in Bangladesh.
Thank you very much, sir. I think the discussion was very nice. Dear audience, this was our today's discussion. Hope to see you again in our next episode. Thank you, Dr. Kamrul Hasan.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, dear audience.
Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum.